Peter's backing it, and the next thing it's like, oh, and you can star in it, and and you can keep your accent as the character, and Peter says it's fine.
Well, that's the big question. I mean, like, with due respect, we don't know you, sir. I've
never seen your films.
You don't, man. So, like, at a certain point, were you ever worried that Peter would call and be like, "You're great and all, but George Clooney is interested in the role," and people know George Clooney?
No. Actually, what happened was, I mean, I was never set to actually star in the film. Like, I was always going to be a producer on it in my mind. So Neil only actually told me and sort of made me the offer to be the lead guy in it when he said, look, Peter's totally behind this, and we might have some issues from the studio or investors or whatever, they're going to want a star, but because Peter wants it, and is really getting behind you, you're going to get it, so I never had a doubt after that point.
How did you describe this film when it was sort of coming together to friends? Like, what did you describe the story as? I'm curious. Like,
we didn't. We weren't allowed to say anything. So it was like, I'm working on something in Johannesburg. But when we could, to anybody, it was just that it's aliens living in a township, third world kind of environment.
Well, what was the environment of shooting for something like this? Because it's a relatively low-budget film, as you said.
It is, very much so.
But it's all on the screen and more. I mean, it looks fantastic. Yeah. So does it feel like kind of a run-and-gun kind of operation, like an indie, like, small film, or does it feel like big-budget Hollywood movie-making?
No, I mean, it was a mix, because we had big teams, of art department and support or whatever, but the actual on-set team, there was very little additional lighting, for example. So the on-set component, the component of who was around you, was very, very small. So obviously it was a lot bigger than the 5 people, on the short. But it was still a very real, gritty, run and gun kind of feeling. Absolutely, we shot on a real landfill in real slums. It was really demanding, on the crew.